Okay, this is the Chapter 6 review for MAC1114. Problem number 1. You're given an angle in degrees and you're being asked to convert to radians. So you want the degrees to go away, therefore it has to be on the opposite level in the denominator so that it'll cancel with this. Pi radians is equivalent to 180, which is what these fractions are made of, two things that are equivalent. The degrees cancel. You end up with 36 times pi over 180. And then you can use your calculator to reduce, or you can reduce by hand. If you're reducing in the calculator, it would be 36 divided by 180. You don't need to put the pi in there. And then to reduce that fraction, it's just math, enter, enter. So the fractional portion is 1/5. So there's the 1, the 5th. So it's 1 pi over 5. Okay, number 2 is just like number 1, only this time you're starting with degrees. 60 degrees rather than 36 degrees. So pi on the top, 180 on the bottom. The degrees cancel. 60 times pi is 60 pi over 180, and then you're just reducing these coefficients. So it's 60 over 180, which is 1/3. 60 goes into 180 3 times. So it's 1 pi over 3. Problem number 3, you're going the other way. This time it's in radians, and you are going to go into degrees. So they give you 5 pi over 2, and you can get this one done just by plugging in 180 for pi. Since they are equivalent, you can substitute one for the other. And again, you could put this in your calculator or do it by hand. 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 times 5, 450. Problem number 4, just like number 3, only this one's 9 pi over 8. You're converting to degrees. So you go ahead and put the 180 in for pi. And then you can put that in your calculator. When you are putting it in your calculator, it's just top times top. 9 times 180 divided by 8. You get 202.5 degrees. Remember on the test to show all steps leading up to the answer. So you're going to show me all of this work nice and neat so that I can read what you're doing. Problem number 5. It says what central angle corresponds to an arc length, and right there the mention of the phrase arc length means that you are using this formula. Arc length is equal to radius times theta. So this stands for arc length. And then this is what we call the central angle, and it must be in radians, or else the answer will not come out right. So don't forget, if you are given theta in degrees, convert it to radians first and then go on with the problem. Now in this particular problem for number 5, they've given you an arc length of 10 yards. We're going to put 10 yards right here for arc length. And then a radius of 11 yards. So put 11 yards in for R. You're multiplying by theta. You want to isolate for theta, so divide that 11 right off of the theta. Likewise on the other side. These units cancel. If they were asking you for the exact answer, it would be 10 over 11. But they've asked you to round to the hundredths place, so you're going to put it in the calculator and then round to the designated place. Okay, to the hundredths place, that would be 0.91. No units on it. It's just in radians. Any number that's decimal or in pi form is considered radians. Okay, problem number 6 and 7 are the same type of problem. In the directions, it does talk about arc length, so you're going to be using the arc length formula again, just like in number 5. Okay, so in number 6, they give you radius is 19.07 centimeters. They give you theta in radians, which is what it has to be in for you to go on with the problems. You don't need to write the words radians. Radians just means it's in decimal form. And then you're looking for arc length. Just go ahead and put that in the calculator, 19.07 times 1.4. And I guess it doesn't say where to round to. I'm going to round to the tenths place. So 26.7, only unit that you have in this problem is centimeters. So that's the unit in the answer. Number 7 is the same sort of problem. Except this time they give you the S, the arc length, as 7 meters. They give you theta as being 2.5 radians. And then R is what you are solving for. So it starts off with the same formula, only this time you have to isolate for R. So you're going to divide this 2.5 right off of the R, likewise on the other side. So this cancels, and you're left with R is equal to 7 divided by 2.5, which is exactly 2.8. And that's in meters. Okay, that completes 1 through 7.